Denman here from the Denman Homestead, and today I have a project ahead of me. I don't know if you guys can see all this, but I don't know if you guys, not everyone will know what I'm talking about. Some of you will know what I'm talking about, and then some of you will really know what I'm talking about. It's homecoming season in Texas. So what does that mean? That means that in Texas, boys and girls get each other garters and mums. And they are these, I can't, like, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can Google it. I'll show you an example. But some schools and some kids go way over the top with their mom. I'm talking about this massive, full body, length, you know, like elaborate mum. I'll show you an example of one that Caden was given last year by his little girlfriend. And here's what you do. You exchange garters and mums. And the girl will typically get one for the boy, and the boy will get one for the girl. And they'll be kind of customized and personalized to that girl's name and what they're into that year, what sport. And it's just like a major tradition in Texas. I know in some other southern states too. But specifically football and Texas and homecoming, it's like the biggest deal in high school. It was even a big deal whenever I was in high school. I remember having a giant mum and it was weighing me down. I ended up pinning it to my backpack. But yeah, I mean, it's a tradition, a long-standing tradition that we do here. And so you may not know about it, or you may know exactly what I'm talking about. But Caden, bless his little heart, as he does, told me last minute that he needed a mum for Friday for his girlfriend. Today's Wednesday. Friday is homecoming. So I have like less than 24 hours to get a mum made. Now, normally I will buy them. There's this little shop in town that makes a bunch of pre-made mums specifically for our school. But times are tough, y'all. I mean, like, everything is expensive, and I'm not knocking, like, I am not even trying to like knock those people that those are their side hustle, right? But sometimes they get pretty expensive, especially last minute. So last minute, if you wait till last minute, you've only got so many to choose from. Maybe if I would have gotten like a little bit more of a heads up, I would have been able to be a little bit more frugal, maybe add some of my own details to it. But they can be like upwards of like, just a good mum can be like $150, $175. So I decided this year, I'm just gonna try to make my own, and for his girlfriend. So I want to say I've made one other mum in my lifetime, and it was like probably back in high school for my boyfriend. It's been a long time since I've made a mum. It's not rocket science. It's basically you layer the ribbons, you layer the little things, and you just make this like, you got the little flower that's in top, and then you put something in the center, and then all the ribbons and all the things hang from it. So I went to Hobby Lobby and I got sticky letters, and I got a bunch of ribbon and our school colors and some little doohickeys and some pearls and all the things that I think would make a really cute mum. I went ahead and got it, and it did come out cheaper than what I definitely what I would have paid, like probably half of what I would have paid at the little store, which is fine. I mean, like I said, I normally go buy them from that little store, but I was like, I'll try it on my own this year. But let me give you an example of Caden's from last year. I found it. He didn't take the best care of it, so it's a little wrinkled in some spots, but I had it hanging up in his closet. But this is, so the boys, they put it on their, let's see, they strap it to their arm like this, right? And they wear it in down the halls, and a lot of times they put it on their backpacks too. Boys aren't like really big fans of like wearing this all day long, right? But so his had a football on it from last year, and a bunch of different ribbons and a little bell, and it had his name spelled on it, Caden. So yeah, this is typically what you would see on a mum. And this is a boy's mum, and they come in all shapes and sizes. Like they can stop right here, like a little mini. This is like a medium-sized mum, and then they can go, like for the girls, they typically go a lot longer down than the boys' mums, because they go like the length down to their knees. And then some of them go to the floor. I mean, that's crazy. So if y'all want to hang out with me today, I'm going to make one. My very first one for my son. Kim, my mother-in-law, like before in the past, when I told her that I bought a mum for Katie, she loves making them. And she told me, she said, just tell me next time when you're going to need a mum and this was last year. She said, tell me next time and I'll make it. I love making them. I used to make them all the time. And I was like, okay. Called her today and I was like, hey, surprise. I need a mum. But she was with G getting some pre-op work done, and she was like, man, if I would have had more time. I said, I know. So she couldn't do it because I gave her last minute notice, which is totally fine. But I did tell her, I said, if you have any extra ribbon, can you let me know? Because I want to make, I am a little nervous that it's not going to be full enough. So we'll see how far this stretches me. I did have some of my own stuff that I'm going to add into it. Like I had some black ribbon and some red ribbon. So I'm going to just add some of the stuff onto some of the stuff that I got. Aren't these cute? Little stars, stickers. I'm going to have a fun time. It's almost like a scrapbook that you wear for one day. You put your year, you're a junior, you're a senior, you're whatever. The unfortunate thing was this little girl that he's dating. She likes track. She runs track, but they had no track. Like they had volleyball and basketball. Even though homecoming is a football thing, you put like the little trinkets on there that the person is into. They had no track things. It's kind of a bummer. Maybe just like a little shoe. You know, sometimes with like a little shoe with like a wing on it or something. None of that. So I just got like homecoming, like. It says touchdown, little paw. So our mascot is a wildcat. So I got a little paw for the wildcat. Cowbells are a big thing. So this cowbell will be annoyingly strapped to her mum, following her everywhere she goes on Friday. I'm sure she's gonna love that. A little football helmet, a number 1. Let's see, what else? I was just grabbing things. Go team, flag. Ooh, this one's cool. Fear the paw. All right. So, and then just some other ribbons that I knew I wouldn't have had stuff like this. So they had these pre-made and hanging. So I went ahead and bought some of the things that like I knew I wouldn't have at home. So this little backing is normally for a double mum, a double flower. One here, one here. But they didn't have any singles left in the store, so I'm just gonna cut this to make it a single. Single is just like one circle. So actually, what I could do, just fold it in half. I'll give you an example from Cadence that's already done from last year. So you see this circle, this cardboard circle? It's double layered, so there's a circle behind it. And you take your first layer and you staple all the ribbon, or you could hot glue it too. I do have a hot glue gun here just in case. You staple all the ribbon around here, and then you finish it off with the clean back on this one so that not all the staples are poking you all day long. There's that. Okay. So I can just use this one sheet and then I'll just use the other side of it for the clean backing. All right. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna work from the back side to the front. So I'm gonna put just like some basic thick layers towards the back. I got this neat shiny tool. So let's try this out. See if we can't make a kind of a solid back layer with this. Right, I'm gonna use one of these ribbons as my tool to measure. So I told you guys that I called Kim to see if she could help me. And she was with Gigi, but she has some extra stuff laying around. So she sent over some extra stickers. And then look at this, this is really cool. So, oh, and some ribbon. She had this that I guess it all came in a set. So these are really neat. I'll be able to use some of this for sure. Okay, so I have a few sheets of this shiny silver tool. I'm gonna start with that as a layer, back layer, because it's really thick. Well, not thick, but I mean wide. So this will be a good base, I think. Maybe I'll just kind of fold this in on itself. I think that's just what we're gonna do. We're just gonna keep layering. Okay, I'm not a fan. I'm gonna scrap that. Scrap that. Okay, so and we can always add more to the back of it afterwards if we need to. Let's just go ahead and start layering with some red and some white. I'm gonna cut it a little bit longer than I want to because I'm gonna trim up the ends and make them like a little bit of a point or a design on the ends of them. So I'm giving a little bit of extra here. Do a few of these. It's so funny. I feel like boys, they're just like, I don't know, maybe your boy's different, but they're not super cognizant, I guess you could say, of like events, right? It's like, okay, I know homecoming's coming up. You know homecoming's coming up. Are you gonna go to the dance? Are you gonna get her a mum? Like, we need to plan for these things? I don't know. Maybe. Last minute. Yeah. Girls. I think girls plan for this like from the get-go. They're like, homecoming? Let's coordinate colors and dresses and outfits. Some of these kids though, they go all out. Like limousines. I remember whenever I was in high school, I think it was my senior year, we all went to a beach house afterwards. I don't know how I talked my mom into that. Maybe I didn't even talk her into it. Maybe I told her I was having a sleepover with a friend. I might have done that a time or two. Alright, so I'm not putting this together just yet. I'm actually just gonna cut these ribbons to length, and then I'll get organizing. Would you go back to high school? Like, would you redo high school over again? Because I know I wouldn't. I was ready to be out of there. I was just like, I don't know. I didn't go to my own prom. I went to homecoming, but I didn't go to prom. And I don't know if I have like regrets about that so much, but I don't know. It just wasn't my thing. I wasn't like extremely happy to be there. So Caden is a sophomore, but his girlfriend is a junior, so I got her a ribbon that has junior on it. And their school name. Alright. So let's separate that. And then with the sticky letters, I'm gonna put her name down one of the ribbons, and then I'll put Caden's name down another ribbon, and I'll do like HOCO, which is HOCO for homecoming, 2024 or something along those lines. So now I'm just gonna take this kind of all apart and just separate it into the reds and the whites and the blacks, so that I can make sure I have everything kind of even. Okay, let's get to stapling. I'm gonna start with my thicker ribbons towards the back for a good base. And take my backing here. I'm gonna just kind of flare it out on the side so it's not just straight down, but it's got a little bit of an angle to it. First piece. So some of this ribbon that I got, is just plain ribbon. And then some of the ribbon that I have has the wires that run down into the side. So you can definitely curl some of it, like curl around your finger and make a little curlicue, which I might do here in a little bit. I'm just gonna leave these all flat. And that would definitely give it a little bit of volume to it as well, having some of those ribbons curl out on you. Just make sure that you keep like a good blank ribbon space somewhere towards the front where you can put their names and all that kind of stuff with the stickers that you had planned on doing. But not hidden too far in the back. I'm going to start to use some of this fancier stuff that Kim let me have. When I talked to Kim, she did have a good idea. She said, she kind of tended to like save the old mums that Buddy would have in high school and reuse little things off of them for the new one, or for his, girlfriends that he would take or whatever. That way, you weren't buying the same stuff over and over and over again. And so, if you're not planning on keeping every single mom in a trophy case somewhere, it's a good idea to reuse some of this stuff. Like the little bells and the little whistles and all kind of stuff. What that top piece looks like. So I'm just keeping this hole clear of the mum. This little thing will pop right in here, and you won't even be able to see the staples. So that's the game plan, is to just keep layering until we put this flower on top. It's a pain to kind of take it off the table and look at it, because you have to straighten it all back out, but I want to make sure that everything's kind of you're getting everything spaced and there's not big gaps. Here is where we're at with the ribbons. I think that's pretty good. There's nothing, it's pretty, there's not a whole lot of dead space. It's good and thick. So now I think it would be a good time to start putting on all the little extras. Like this isn't extra enough. All right, so I have some pearls. Who doesn't love pearls? Oh, guess what else I found? Battery operated string lights. Yeah. We're gonna see how we can fit that in. I don't know that I'm gonna do a whole lot of pearls. I feel like maybe one strand. Because that's a lot. One thing that I don't have that I wish I had was the itty bitty tiny ribbon that you can string through these little, some of these little things, but I'm gonna have to glue these down. I did not find any really thin ribbon for these. See how this has like a little tiny hole at the top? You can like string a little ribbon through it. I don't have any. It's cowbell though. Should be able to find a ribbon. I just know that I don't know. I just know. I feel like homecoming at the school for the teachers and the staff has to be like, you've got to be stocked on some Excedrin or some Advil or something, because all the bells, all the whistles through the hall. Oh my goodness. It's got to be loud. I think I'm doing pretty good so far. I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, if I was a girl, I would be happy to wear it. Let me take that back. I am a girl. If I could go back in time, as a high school student, I would be pleased with this. I'm gonna be sure to save a bunch of this stuff for next year, because if I don't use it all, I'll definitely have extras. So this little helmet, I was gonna put in the middle of the mum. Hopefully it fits. It's cute. All right, guys. I turned the lights off so you can kind of see how the it's gonna look at homecoming night, like at the game. So it's got the twinkle lights going on it. I think it turned out really well. What do you guys think? Got her name right here. And Caden's name is down here. So what I did for the lights is I basically just tucked them in to the mum itself, and then I hot glued on the back side of one of these thicker pieces the lights, and then I kind of just ran it underneath a bunch of that, and then on the back side of this one, so it kind of just illuminates the whole mum. And then I went ahead and added, since I had some pearls throughout the mum itself, I went ahead and for the top, she can either wear it like a necklace, like a pearl necklace, and slip it over her head, or I'll show you what the back side looks like. Since it's got that battery pack for the lights, I didn't know if she would want to have it right up on her chest like that. I'm gonna have an option for a pin, like a little safety pin, 2 of them right here on the little black ribbons that I attached to the back, or she might just want to slip this little string of pearls around her neck and wear it that way. But I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out for my first homecoming mum. I think they're supposed to be, well, not gaudy, but you know what I'm saying, like a bunch of stuff in it, so. I hope Caden likes it. Well, I'll have to get his opinion, see what he thinks. All right, well, thank you for hanging out with me today, making Caden's girlfriend's mum for homecoming. It was actually really fun to do, put it together and layer it and do all the lights, and I had a good time. So thanks for hanging out with me, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.
On the Denman homestead, where the sun sets golden in the west, we live in harmony with nature, doing what we love best. From the garden to the kitchen, and the bees inside their hive. On the Denman homestead, come along and plant, nourish, thrive.